twilight lies gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket train, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Satan's that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the frame, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, Satan's that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the frame, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching Maxspeed TV.
All right, there we go, folks. Hey, sorry about that. Been having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Had an update, and yeah, it decided it wanted to change all my sound settings on OBS. Of course, went to start the stream, and OBS crashed on me. So, hey, welcome everybody to OP Monday Night Premiere Series presented by Buttkicker and Maxspeed TV here. Stephen Lane up in the booth for another exciting night under the lights here of Daytona. Glad everybody can join in and tune in tonight. Well, guys, we're going to jump right into it. We got about a minute and a half left to practice but we're going to jump right into our standings if it will work for me. Here we go. Gabe Butler, Brian Wang, Hunter Reynolds, and Jeff Crosby Jr. all with wins on the season, so they are in the playoffs already. Well, Zach Workman, Lynn McNeese, Adam Kilday, Mark Mann, Andy Brigante, Zach Fritch, all right there as well as Kenny Real, Nate Warren, Richard Coon, Dustin Logston, Steve Korsak, and Jimmy Reynolds just above the cut line. Well, then you get right below the cut line. That's the 53 of Dave Hunt, 2 points behind the cut line. So very close battle right there for that cut. Rick Sanchez also in the mix. Vicente Guerrero right there, and Eric Laurie just outside of the cut. Well, what happened last week, folks? We'll get right to that right here. Your race winner at iRacing Super Speedway was the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. In second was Brian Wang. The third place was Lynn McNeese. Fourth was Dude Conrad. And fifth was the 82 of Daniel Harrington. Your stage one winner last week, the 05 of Brian Wang. And the stage two winner was the 26 and eventually your race winner of Hunter Reynolds. Well, the most points over the last three races here, folks, as we hit the checker flag for the practice. Hunter Reynolds with 119, Gabe Butler 113, Lynn McNeese with 94, Brian Wang with 92, and Zach Workman with 92. Well, guys, we are going to be into qualifying here. Get that put up as we get ready to go qualifying. Right now, nobody out qualifying just yet, but we will get going here in just a second. Guys, we got some new camera angles that we're going to be working with tonight. So bear with me. We'll kind of look at this as Adam Kilday coming out on the track. But we're going to go ahead and show you some of these. We got the roof cam tonight right here on Maxspeed TV on the roof of Adam Kilday. Of course, we got the deck lid looking out the back. Our gyro cam looking at the driver. And then their helmet cam looking out of the front and what's in front of them. Hunter Reynolds out on the track, Peter DeBorgia, Jeff Crosby Sr., Jimmy Reynolds, Les Levy, Eric Laurie, Adam Schramm, and Dustin Logston all out on the track. As I'm getting a message here. That's Joshua sending me a message. I asked him if he was going to join me tonight. He said he doubts it, but he said he might. Who knows? He may join in, he may not. But, well, the times should start rolling in here pretty soon, folks. Hunter Reynolds it looks like he has completed his qualifying lap, but let's go ahead and get on. We'll do a refresh here. Borgia is out on the track, as well as Dave Hunt, Josh Ball, Bubba Whittingham, Zach Workman, Adam Kilday, Andy Brigante, Nate Warren, Jimmy Reynolds, Les Levy, Eric Laurie, Adam Schramm, Rick Sanchez out on the track now, Dustin Logston, and Kenny Real. So, well, here we go. Dustin Logston right now in that top spot with a 51.39. Adam Kilday is 51.41. And Jimmy Reynolds coming in with a 51.42. So very close qualifying right now. I should say Hunter Reynolds in second. Now with 51.41. Kilday with the 51.41 as well. Going to put him in third. Pete DeBorgia dropping to fifth. Everett, I hope you get the feeling that he's been sick all day. And I hope you get the feeling better here soon, buddy. Definitely know what that feels like. I've been battling a headache all day, but guys, the show must go on. We've got to keep this rolling, keep these guys happy. But right now, Dustin Logston still your current leader. Hunter Reynolds in second. Kenny Real dropping that 4th place into that 4th place spot. I don't know why that is not updating like it should. But we are still got guys out qualifying. Bubba Winningham, Zach Workman, Andy Brigante. We got Vicente Guerrero, Sean Macara, Everett Lane, Dan Harrington, Richard Kuhn. Now Everett did win Saturday night on the Unlimited Series. So good victory by him. Team Bootnaka actually getting the top 3 spots. Right now, it looks like Dustin is in that top spot. Gabe Butler coming in 4th. Sean Macara, he is doing his. Vicente Guerrero getting his qualifying lap in. Everett Lane coming in to that 10th place spot. Actually dropped to 11th. Vicente Guerrero in 7th. And Sean Macara coming in 22nd. Doesn't look like Mark Mann, Doug Johnson, Stephen Luttrell, Andrew Schroeder, Dude Conrad, Brian Wang, Steve Korsick, Lynn McNeese, Dan Harrington are going to qualify. Well, that's going to do it. So that's going to bring us to our pole sitter tonight. We'll go ahead and bring him up to the broadcast booth. Mr. Dustin Lawson, the Nerdy Sports. Man, looks like you got the pole for tonight, man. How's it feeling out there to you?
It feels pretty good. I believe that's my first Monday premiere pole. So
wow, congratulations.
Yeah, feels pretty good to be sitting out here on the pole. I had to sit here and give Peter a run for his money. He got the pole at IRSS, so he couldn't be the only nerd driver with a pole.
There you go. There you go. Well, again, you know, our partnership with Nerdy Sports, man, it's or I should say Nerditudes, but part of the Nerdy Sports guys, you know, for our, you know, overlays that we're using now. So big shout out to you guys. What do you got to do to win tonight, buddy?
Survive, my man. Survive to the end. That's going to be the biggest thing. Goals to make it to the end first, and then we'll see if we're in good position at that point in time to try to maybe try to get my first Premier OP win. Still trying to get that little, you know, tick knocked off the sheet a little bit. So, well,
you know, you got some tough competition, but you know you got some teammates that's going to be well close by. Hopefully they could get up there with you to help you out, I hope. But well, you know, looking at the lineup here, looks like they're kind of Peter's back here in 10th, so you never know.
Yeah, it's Daytona. I mean, it doesn't take long to get up here. Sometimes strategy we fall to the back as well, so we'll just have to see what's going on. We're going to take it one step at a time. First is a clean start, and then we'll tick one lap away, work towards first stage, and go from there.
All right, brother. Well, good luck. You guys are fixing to roll out, and we will talk to you later, sir.
All right. Appreciate you, my man.
Yes, sir. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get to our starting grid here on Maxspeed TV. We'll get that bar off of there, if it will. But Dustin Loxon is your pole sitter. His outside of row 1, Rick Sanchez. Row number 2, Josh Ball. On the inside, his outside, the 88 of Gabe Butler. Row number 3 on the inside is Mr. Hunter Reynolds. To his outside is Adam Kilday. Row number 4 is Vicente Guerrero. His outside, the number 11 of Kenny Reel. Row number 5, it would be the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Starting at his outside is the 42 of Peter DeBorgia. Row number 6 on the inside is the 24 of Everett Lane. To his outside is the 53 of Dave Hunt. Row number 7 on the inside, Richard Kuhn. To his outside is Eric Laurie. Starting row number 8 on the inside, Les Levy. To his outside, Jeff Crosby Sr. Row number 9 on the inside is Adam Schramm. To his outside, the one and the only Bubba Winningham. Row number 10 is Mr. Zach Workman. To his outside is Andy Brigante. Row number 11 on the inside is Nate Warren. To his outside will be the 71 of Sean McCara. Row number 12 on the inside is the 027 of Steve Korosek. His outside is the number 8 of Duke Conrad. Row number 13 on the inside, Stephen Luttrell. His outside is the 04 of Mark Mann. Row number 14 on the inside, the 82 of Daniel Harrington. His outside will be the 48 of Andrew Schroeder. Row number 15 on the inside is the 84 of Lynn McNeese. On his outside, the 83 of Doug Johnson. And it's only going to show me 15 rows. But you got the row number 16. It will be Stephen Luttrell. But Stephen Korosek is starting in the pits. Well, as we're getting ready to go to the green flag, they get to the Geico restart zone. The Chevyland green flag, as you see, is in the air. The pace truck dives off down to pit road. Hello, Moose Pie out there. Here we go, folks. Green flag, and we're racing under the lights here at Daytona. Started by Dustin Logston as he is getting out in front of the number 1, Josh Ball, pushing right behind him. And that 26 of Hunter Reynolds. On the outside is Rick Sanchez, 88 of Gabe Butler, 85 of Adam Kildane, the 11 of Kenny Real, as Josh Ball does make that move to the outside. As they go down the backstretch, Josh Ball's going to get pushed out to the front in front of Dustin. Logston kind of a bump and a check up there, slowed up the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. They do, coming around turn number 4, back to the trial. Loud. Looking through this, folks, before as they are rounding down, as we're in turns 1 and 2, coming down the back stretch. Again, we are looking at some of our gyro cam. We're on board with Gabe Butler right now, going into turns 1 and 2. Or actually, I should say 3 and 4. And then looking out the front of his truck, right behind Rick Sanchez. Going to have a few different camera angles. A little bit of a rooftop view here. Kind of see what's going on. I didn't get all of the cameras, all of the trucks saved. For some reason, some of them is not showing what I wanted to show. We got on the field. We are 3 wide now. Looking back through here, I believe that is the 42 of the Morgan. Trying to get something going. No help from him out here. He is getting some side grab, kind of holding his own right now. Let's come back to the trial. Last number 5 pushing the stages tonight at 25 and 50. So we'll see what happens. Logston back out in front. Josh Ball to his outside. Hunter Reynolds right behind Logston. Coming down the backstretch, we are still 3 wide with Peter DeBorgia on that outside. He is really holding his own. But looking back through the field here, just a lot of wiggle. Ooh, gosh, down in front of Logston. I do appreciate every Grover tuning in as well. Glad to have everybody tuning in tonight. Now we got 3 wide again. Kenny Real going out with 42. Gabe Butler moving out to that outside line as well. Kenny Real is right on that some reason it didn't capture all the trucks like I wanted it to. We're 3 wide coming back to the start finish line, out of the start finish line. And first 1 and 2. They're coming down the back stretch, just 3 wide, 4 rows deep. Actually, 5, 6 rows deep now. We look back here, that is the 19 of Zach Burton. He's dropping down the road. Bubba winning now. That's the lead. Daytona. Outside. Is actually the 05 of Brian Wayne. Looking back, we're still 3 wide. Get back here about to that 71. Sean Adam Bubba Winningham dropping back there. We don't want none of that 3 wide action. Any contact. Let's leave it. Jeff Crosby Sr. And Mark Man. Then McNeil, Doug Johnson started on pit road. He is back here by himself as well as Steve Korsak. Steven Latrell up here. He is the only lap down. He started on pit road. We come back through the trial. We're past the start. 9. Your leader right now, Hunter Reynolds second, Josh Paul third, Rick Sanchez in fourth, Adam Gilday in fifth. See guys jockeying back down to that lower line. I would say there's probably fixing to be some pit strategies going on. Wouldn't think that 9 laps that they would be ready for pit stop. You never know. I don't know what their fuel percentage is. I think it's 43%. Loxton, Reynolds, Kenny Real, and 19 of Zach Workman, and the 53 of Dave Hunt on that outside. Left we got Hunter Reynolds, Rick Sanchez, Adam Kilday, Josh Ball, Vicente Guerrero, Nate Warren, Eric Laurie, Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, all single file all the way back through. Back here to Mark Mann, and the outside, make up some ground here. You can barely hear me. Let's fix that. Is that any better? Have to try and all right. Well, for some reason my gain was turned down, and I can do something. Well, it's not going to let me do it right now, but you guys can hear me a little bit better. There we go. That's what I was looking for. We turn that up a little bit. That might be a little bit too loud. but we are getting there. Let me know if that made it any better. Might be just a little bit louder. I know I try to get the engine noises in there, but I think they're overpowering me just a little bit. Sometimes you got to do this stuff on the fly, folks. And here we go. Here's our first green flag pit stops. Dustin Loxton bringing them down. Zach Workman, Josh Ball, Rick Sanchez, Dave Hunt, Kenny Real, Vicente Guerrero, Sean McCarr, Peter DeBorgia, Nate Warren, Richard Kuhn, Adam Schramm, Jeff Crosby Sr., Andy Brigante, and Lynn McNeese all coming down pit road right now. That's going to put Mark Mann as your leader, Andrew Schroeder second, Everett Lane in third, and Dan Harrington in fourth. So that's going to split up the field here a little bit. We're going to put our split up there. Well, here comes Mark Mann, Andrew Schroeder, Dan Harrington, Steve Korosek, and Everett Lane down pit road. Zach Workman and them are back out on the track. We'll see how this goes. Again, this is going to separate the field a little bit as Zach Workman, Dustin Loxton are working together. Peter DeBorgia back here with Rick Sanchez, Vicente Guerrero. And then you got Hunter Reynolds, Adam Kilday, Jimmy Reynolds, and Brian Wang on the outside. And then the 71 of Eric Laurie trying to catch up with him, as well as the 53 of Dave Hunt. Then you got Mr. Les Levy and Bubba Winningham right there with Kenny Real. Then you got another group back here with Richard Kuhn, Adam Strom, Sean McCara, Andy Brigante, and Nate Warren. And then back here you got Jeff Crosby Sr., Gabe Butler, Dude Conrad. Well, Gabe and Dude is going to go around Jeff Crosby Sr. And then you got Lynn McNeese. Josh Ball back here by himself. Doug Johnson looks like he is just now coming off of pit road. Steve Korosek is coming down pit road once again. He may have gotten a black flag. Back up on the front, though, that front group, though, Zach Workman, Dustin Loxton, Peter DeBorgia, Rick Sanchez, Vicente Guerrero, Dave on the inside, Hunter Reynolds, Adam Kilday, Jimmy Reynolds, Brian Wang, and Eric Laurie on the outside with Kenny Real trying to close that gap. Sorry about that. Had a cough. My allergies are draining a little bit tonight. So I do apologize about that. I sound a little stuffed up, but lap 16 in the books, folks. We are working on lap 17. Hunter Reynolds drops it down in front of Zach Workman. 85 of Adam Kilday. 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Brian Wang, Eric Laurie. Looks like Vicente Guerrero on the outside with Kenny Real. And then the 24 of Eric Lane, or Everett Lane, right there in the mix, as well as Mark Mann. Coming up with this other group, that is Mark Mann, Richard Kuhn, Andrew Schroeder, and Dan Harrington. Adam Schramm, Sean McCarr as well, Andy Brigante back here, and Nate Warren, Gabe Butler, Dude Conrad, Jeff Crosby Sr., Lynn McNeese, all back here. Now we got Josh Ball that's caught up with the 36 of Stephen Luttrell. Doug Johnson is getting lapped right now, but he is falling in with that draft pack. Steve Korosek also trying to catch up as well. Zach Workman, though, battling it out. We're going to get our battle for position box up here. We are on Zach Workman right now. He is going to get pushed out. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there as Zach drops it down to that lower line. Hunter Reynolds really getting pushed by the 85. Now Hunter's going to drop it down to that low line. That's going to put Adam Kilday, Jimmy Reynolds, and Brian Wang on that outside line. Well, we're 3 wide. That's Vicente Guerrero out on that third lane, making it 3 wide, and I believe that is the 11 of Kenny Real right there with the we get a little bit wider view here as Everett Lane is staying in the middle, trying to shoot the gap, come up there to get with that lead group. As we come back through the tri-oval, Hunter Reynolds looks like he is going to lead that lap as we pass the start-finish line for lap number 19. Remember, folks, 25 and 50 are your stages. If they stay green, then that will put Hunter Reynolds right now is leading this group as he gets a good shot by that 19 of Zach Workman. Side by side, 3 wide, couple rows deep. Again, that is the 14 of Vicente Guerrero and the 11 of Kenny Real. Ooh, Eric Morey pushing up a little bit into the door of Vicente. Definitely some rubbing going on right there, folks. That third lane's trying to get moving, but with just 2 trucks, don't know if they're going to have enough to really get up to the front, but they are making a run now on the back stretch. They will lose a little bit of momentum going into the corner, but they will make up that speed coming out of the corner. As we look at them coming across this start finish line, Zach Workman going to lead that lap. Hunter Reynolds dropping it back down. I think he's trying to keep Adam cooled off because these trucks will push for a little while, but they will get hot fairly quickly. They come down the back stretch coming into turns 3 and 4. We will see them come around. Ooh, big wiggle there by Zach Workman. We went back on TV1 just at the right time. Hunter Reynolds is going to lead another lap. They're going to be vying and battling it out for the stage win. Looking back through the field, we're 3 wide all the way back to Daniel Harrington, Everett Lane, Dave Hunt, Adam Schramm, the 71 of Sean McCarr on the outside. Oh, big wiggle there. Not sure what happened. I didn't see Vicente Guerrero dropping it back down. That's leaving Kenny Real out there kind of by himself. You see these guys switching lanes back and forth. Well, Dan Harrington's going to drop down to that second lane. Going to close the door, so Kenny Real is going to have to fall in behind 82 of Dan Harrington. Loxton back out front, your leader right now as we lap 23. Two of the nerdy sports race team right there. Ooh, looked like maybe almost a bad push by Hunter on that 19 of Workman, but Workman drops it down in front of Logston. Back Workman on the inside, Hunter Reynolds on the outside with Adam Kilday, Vicente Guerrero, Dan Harrington. Then you got Workman, Logston, DeBorgia, Sanchez, Hunt, Reynolds, Wang on that inside line as Jimmy goes to the outside. And we are 1 lap away, folks, from the stage. Workman gets back up to that high side in front of 26 of Hunter Reynolds. But Peter DeBorgia is trying to push his teammate up there for the stage win. Now, folks, this is team racing. So there are teams tonight. You've got the Checker Flag Motorsports guys, the Dell Cup Games, Fuel Sim Racing, Nerd Esports, No Presta, Team Buttkicker, Vendetta, and the Wicked Race Team. Well, here we go. Dustin Loxton blocking the 19 to get that stage win. I should say we are now on the stage white flag for the stage. Peter DeBorgia and Dustin Loxton back and forth here. We're back 3 wide racing though, as Hunter Reynolds goes to the outside with the 85 of Adam Kilday. There goes Vicente Guerrero to the outside. Peter DeBorgia on the inside, Loxton in the middle, Reynolds on the outside. As we come around to turn number 4, who is going to get the stage here, folks? Looks like it's going to be Hunter Reynolds. Hunter Reynolds is going to be your stage winner. We will visit with Hunter. I'm sure they're going to be coming down pit road. We'll let him get his pit stop in, and then we will visit with Hunter. Hunter Reynolds, your stage winner. Dustin Loxton in second. Peter DeBorgia third. Zach Workman fourth. Dan Harrington in fifth. Adam Kilday sixth. Rick Sanchez in seventh. Vicente Guerrero in eighth. Kenny Real is kind of back and forth, but Jimmy Reynolds is going to round out your top 10. Oh, we got some action going on back here. Not sure what happened to Rick. It said that he crashed, but unless somebody hit him. Huh. Well, no crash, but we are done with stage 1. Hunter Reynolds, your stage 1 winner. We'll get him up here right after he gets done with his pit stop. All right, we've caught up with our stage 1 winner, Hunter Reynolds. Awesome job, buddy. Congratulations, stage 1 winner, man. That was pretty tight.
Man, thank you. That was exciting. We were having some good racing up front. I was able to come out of the pits good and kind of control the lines there for a bit, and then Workman slid up in front of me and kind of fell back there. And thanks for Adam Kilday for pulling out on the last lap and going through when they wouldn't have done it without him.
Well, you know, that to me, again, just from what I'm seeing, that lower line still seems to be the ideal line. You guys on that third lane going into the corners, still looks like you're losing momentum on that outside, especially, I mean, even though you got 3 or 4 or 5 trucks with you on that third line, you're still losing a little bit.
Yeah, if you're stacked up and every lane is hot, that inside lane is going to be faster. But if you can get a clean nose on somebody and the other guys on the other lane are hot, you're going to roll. So it really just depends on where you can get trucks at and develop the run. But I mean, right there, the high side worked out for the stage and even getting my nose out front. So just kind of depends on how the runs develop.
Well, you know, good point stage for you, buddy. You got that win. Good team points for you as well for Team Buttkicker. Man, you guys have been tearing it up lately, not just here, but on Saturday night. So good luck, brother. You got a lot of racing left.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to try and survive this thing.
All right, brother. We'll see you later.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll get him back down to his team room. Well, like I said, Hunter Reynolds, Adam Kilday, Richard Coon. But Richard's showing going down pit road again, so he is going to fall back. But Dustin Loxton, Zach Workman, Kenny Reel, and Peter, rounding out your top 5, Peter DeBorgia, Jimmy Reynolds, Everett Lane, Les Levy, Bubba Winningham, Dan Harrington. Or Bubba is going to round out your top 10. Well, let me get this off of here. Of course, our next stage will be white flag on lap 50, yellow stage in on 51. Get that off of there. Well, as they're coming down the back stretch, folks, we're going to step aside, pay a bill. We will be right back. All right, folks, we are back. They are rounding turns 3 and 4. They will get back to the Geico restart zone. The flag man's got the green flag in his hand as you will watch the pace truck dive off down to pit road. Of course, restart is on the leader. Here we go. Green flag back out. Chevyland green flag once again. Of course, Chevyland is our Maxspeed TV green flag sponsor. Chevyland.com, Shreveport, Louisiana. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, go look them up on Chevyland.com. Look at their inventory. Visit with their salespeople online. They can get you hooked up. Of course, if you can't make it to Shreveport, Louisiana, they will deliver in the lower 48 states. I've just seen where Bubba had posted that Dusty Burkhart went down there for business that Dusty works for and got a couple of work trucks going to be delivered next week. Check them out, folks, Chevyland.com. As we get back to racing, though, Adam Kilday out front there was working on his outside. Reynolds on the inside with the 42 of the Borgia on the outside. Everett Lane as well on that outside as they start jockeying for positions back here towards the back. Big gap, though, there between Jimmy. Kenny Reel drops it down to the inside. Jimmy kind of up a little bit towards Dan Harrington. Was able to maintain his line. As we look back through the field here, we are just side-by-side racing throughout the field, all the way back. Richard Coon, and then we have Gabe Butler, but looking on that outside, that is the 027. That's Steve Corsick and the 8 of Dude Conrad back there. But then Rick Sanchez, Lynn McNeese, Brian Wang, Doug Johnson, Jeff Crosby Sr., Mark Mann, Steve Corsick. Of course, Steve, I believe, is a lap down. He is the first truck a lap down. And then you have Stephen Latrell, who's also a lap down. Back up towards the front, though, Hunter Reynolds making a move to get back up to the front. Loxton right behind him. Kilday, Workman on the outside with the Borgia. Real Jimmy Reynolds. And I believe that is the 62 of Les Levy on the inside. Watching these guys come down the back stretch here. We're looking at 3 wide back here. Get back on drone cam. That is the one of Josh Ball, the 027 of Steve Corsick, and the 16 of Nate Warren. On that third line is the 87 of Adam Schramm, falling back. Now the 24, 24 of Everett Lane getting a push. A bump there by the one of Josh Ball. Almost got him loose. But man, that run they're getting out there on that outside line. With Everett Lane, Josh Ball. Adam Kilday moving up to the second lane. 27 Steve Corson out on that third line. Logston, Reynolds. Reynolds getting a good push there by Logston. Ooh, big wiggle there by 85 of Kilday as Josh Ball and him go door to door. Everett Lane going to drop it down in front of Kilday. The ball dropping in front of the 19 of Zach Workman. Kilday right on the bumper of Everett Lane, trying to get him pushed up towards the front. Big shot there as Logston gets a shot on the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. But Everett Lane, your leader right now out front. Just by a nose, but here comes that inside line. Hunter Reynolds getting pushed out there by Logston. Now Everett Lane back out front. Everett going to get a lap led here, it looks like. Lap 35 in the books, folks, working on 36. You know, Everett, I have a little mixed review, mixed opinions on stage racing. In a way, it's good because it kind of closes the field back up, especially after green flag pit stops. But I also, you know, on super speedway racing, you know, that's a good thing. But some of the more technical tracks that I like to run, or that I run on one of my other leagues, man, it's a little bit different when you're running those type of tracks. Everett Lane dropping down in front of Hunter Reynolds, Adam Kilday, Zach Workman on the outside with Dan Harrington. I believe that is 16 of Nate Warren, 82 of Harrington, 48 of Andrew Schroeder, the Duke Conrad, that is Adam Schramm, Brian Wang, and the 13 of Andy Pagante. 04 of Mark Mans right there as well. Can't forget about Mark. Dave Hunt down on the inside. Richard Kuhn, number single file. Gabe Butler, Doug Johnson, Jeff Crosby Sr., Lynn McNeese. Vicente Guerrero back here by himself. Not sure if he hit it or what happened. Steve Corsick is your first truck a lap down, and then Stephen Luttrell. We're starting to see green flag pit stops here, folks. That's Hunter Reynolds coming down with Logston, Ball, DeBourget, Reel, Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds, Levy, Sanchez, Schramm, Butler, Winningham, Hunt, Kuhn, and Laurie. Green flag pit stops underway as we're kind of keeping an eye. It looks like Hunter Reynolds will be the first out. Now we got a drag race coming off of pit road. Here comes that other group of Everett Lane, Zach Workman, Kilday, Warren, Harrington, Mann, Brigante, Wang, McCarr, Schroeder, Conrad, and McNeese. Steve Corsick and Stephen Luttrell taking the advantage to come down pit road. With Jeff Crosby Sr. and Doug Johnson both staying out, we'll probably venture to say that they will be coming down pit road this next time by. Again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. 15 viewers out there, only 4 likes. Ooh, Doug blinking out. If you haven't hit that like button, folks, please hit that like button. And if you're watching and you're new to Maxspeed TV, be sure you hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. I'll let you know every time that we go live. Of course, we're broadcasting several days a week. Ooh, Senior getting a little bit loose coming into the pit road. Dylan out there in chat. They get your truck fixed, Dylan? Les Levy is out here. He is in that third place spot. But Adam Kilday, Zach Workman, these guys are running down his back door very quickly. As Peter DeBorgia, Dustin Moxon, John Ball to that outside. Some blocking going on as we're getting around lap traffic now. Guys coming off of pit road. Les Levy, though, right now your leader, but here comes the field. Going to put Les falling back here. Oh, here we go, folks. These guys, I don't know how they saved it, but that was an amazing save by everybody. Wow. I see Nate Warren falling back. He must have got, where he is. I thought maybe he got pushed down pit road, but he didn't. Gonna get a new ride, huh? Are they transferring your radio and everything over for you while you're waiting? For those that don't know, the Dylan Lane is my nephew. Dylan stayed with me for a little while, and he's out driving a truck cross country. Big wiggle there by Dustin Loxton. Almost a bad push by the one of Josh Ball, but able to maintain as the 027 Steve Corson goes to the bottom line with Zach Workman. As we look here, Stephen Luttrell back here with that group. I believe is still a lap down. Yes, he is, but he was hoping for that caution to come out and maybe get his lap back. Lap 43 in the books, folks. We're on lap 44. Ooh, some Doran action going on. That's the Kitty Brill and the 027 Steve Corsick. Now you got Hunter Reynolds on the outside. Okay. You know when they're going to get your new truck ready, or when you're supposed to pick it up? Now I give Dylan a hard time because his truck that he had. Oh, okay. I give him a hard time because his truck was one of them automatic freight shakers, and it's kind of funny to give him a hard time. What do we call you? Just a steering wheel jockey? Good battle going on up front here. Zach Workman back and forth between, or that was Steve Korosek going between that top there, that second and first lane. Hell, I wouldn't say favorite nephew, but I've only got two, at least on my side of the family. Ooh, big wiggle there by these guys as we are 3 wide right now. That is Rick Sanchez, Hunter Reynolds, Everett Lane, Gabe Butler on that 3rd lane, Workman, Korosek, Borgia, Kenny Reel, Jimmy Reynolds, and Dave Hunt on that middle line. There goes the 71 of Sean McCars. The 19 of Workman drops it down in front of Logston. Ball. That is Schramm, Brian Lang, Nate Warren, and Adam Kilday on that first one. I like the window watcher. Oh, Peter DeBorgia with the big move to that 3rd lane. Try to get pushed out towards the front there. That is the 5 of Rick Sanchez. Dustin Lobson still down on that low line, but the 19 of Workman getting a good push by the 27 of Korosek. Workman's going to lead that lap. We are on lap 47 now, folks. We draw ever so closer to that stage 2 finish. Been a really good race so far. Gabe Butler, the last truck on this pack. And then back here to the second pack, Andy Brigante, Richard Kuhn, Dan Harrington, Mark Mann, Andrew Schroeder, Jeff Crosby Sr., Lynn McNeese, Duke Conrad, and that is the 36 of Stephen Luttrell. But Doug Johnson back here by himself, as well as Bubba Winningham. And then you have Les Levy, Eric Laurie, and Vicente Guerrero. They are closing that gap on Bubba. Bubba's going to go up high, probably going to drop down behind. Oh, big move. Vicente trying to get Bubba pushed up there, and he does. Get Bubba mixed back into the mix with these guys. But that lead group, here they come, 3 wide still. Josh Ball on the inside, Workman in the middle, but Borgia on the outside. Here we go. Josh Ball going to lead this lap here, folks. We are on lap 49. 81, Dustin Lawson going to the high side, or the second lane. Josh Ball trying to put a block on him. Didn't quite work. A lot of movement going on in that field right there, folks. So right now, Ball on the inside, Logston in the middle, Borgia on the outside. As we come to lap 50, we have the white flag in the air, so it's going to be a battle for stage 2 here, folks. Ball, Logston, Schramm, Wayne, Workman, Korosek, Borgia. Pete with the big booty outside. Josh Ball going out there trying to throw a block on the 81. As Wayne and Schramm down on that inside. We are coming up to lap traffic here, folks. We come out of turn number 4. Who is going to win it? A lot of lap traffic going on. Guys in the way. Josh Ball going to get that stage. Your stage 2 winner, though, will be the number 1 of Josh Ball. Again, we will visit with Josh after they get done with their pit stops. Guys, I am trying to come up with some new commercials to play. I know Chevy Land is supposed to be sending me something. Of course, we're in a partnership with Chevy Land for our green flag sponsor. But finishing out that stage, though, we have Josh Ball, Dustin Logston, Adam Schramm, Brian Wang, Zach Workman, your top 5. DeBorgia Real, Jimmy Reynolds, Dave Hunt, Nate Warren rounding out your top 10. For some reason, it's giving Dustin the number 1 spot. Hang tight, folks. We are going to verify this, and I will be right back. All right, folks, we've got a little bit of discussion going on, but I'm going to go with this because, well, this was the gentleman that was showing in the lead at the time of the yellow flag. Josh Ball, right now, stage 2 winner, unless something changes. Josh, awesome job, buddy. Congratulations. Lap traffic kind of got in the way a little bit there.
Yeah. I was getting kind of worried, although I knew my teammate was below me, and we were kind of talking about how we were going to try to get through it. And luckily, we didn't die there. But yeah, definitely lap traffic didn't play very good havoc there at the end. It was close to being a catastrophe.
Well, you know, you guys somehow you kind of made it through that, and you know, it could have got bad real quick. Now, I wanted to ask you real fast before you guys get ready to go back side by side here. That massive save by about 15 cars or trucks there, I think you were right there in the mix of all of that. I cannot believe y'all saved all that.
Yeah, I was worried that we were going to crash. But luckily, yeah, I'm surprised everybody was able to hold on to it, which, you know, we've actually had a really good race and all tonight here. So yeah, hats off to everybody here that was able to save it, got the screen, and yeah, it was a good stage.
Well, definitely some stage points for you. Stage points also are points for the team as well. No Presta Esports. So congratulations, Josh. We're going to let you go, buddy. Good luck for the rest of the race.
Thanks.
All right. So, again, no Presta team points there. Of course, big points for Josh Ball for getting that stage win. But, again, awesome job by these drivers tonight. It's been a great race. So this is going to allow guys to get all stacked back up. But now we've got several vehicles. What, who break? Huh? I didn't break nothing. Just getting clarification on who the stage winner was. It was showing Dustin Loxton in first, but at the time of the stage end, it looked like Josh Ball was your leader and stage winner. So we're going to go with that. Of course, if the admins go back and look at it and it changes, we'll let you know next week. But right now, we are fixing to go back green flag racing here as we get to the Geico restart zone. The Chevy Land green flag in the air. Here we go, folks. Green flag back out once again on the loud pedal. Going to finish up these last, 40, 45, 46 laps. Josh Ball back and forth between that first and second line. Zach Workman right behind him. Going to give him a good shove. Dave Hunt as well on that inside line. Logston and Sanchez out on that outside. Belva joining in. Hi, Belva. Glad you can make it. Yeah, we kind of start early on this league. Of course, we got a late start tonight. Had some technical difficulties to start. OBS crashed on me. And then, it just, of course, I had a Windows update, and that always messes with our the microphones and sound. So I had to go back and redo everything as we get back here towards the back. And Peter DeBorgia, we got a caution out, folks. There's a big wreck is happening right there. There's several trucks. Oh my goodness. We've got a lot of trucks involved. Let's take a look at this. We're on board with Steve Korsak. Ooh, right into the side of Dude Conrad. Well, let's go here to our drone cam as we get a rewind here. We're going to see what really caused all of this. It happened up here towards the front. Right there, the 19, right into the right rear bumper of the 1. Gets him turned around, collects several trucks there. Mark Mann getting spun around. Yeah, we got a lot of trucks involved, a lot of trucks diving down, trying to get out of the way, cutting the grass. Several. Herbert Lane with a lot of damage on his truck. It looked like he might have had to tow, as we see the whole front end of his truck just destroyed. Looking back through here, some of these guys was able to get it shut down and avoid a lot of it, but well, that's going to change up. I know. He's been caught up in a lot of stuff here lately. Well, we're going to got to watch out on pit road. It could get a little dicey. We'll actually see if we can talk to Rick. Looks like he is just going to get some repairs done. We'll wait till he gets going here, and we'll see if he'll visit with us here in just a second. Kind of keeping an eye on him to see. He's been in his pit stall for some time now. He may have quite a bit of damage, so we're going to go ahead and hold off on talking to Rick. Well, here he comes out. We'll go ahead. We'll visit with Rick. You got time to visit with me, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Well, you know, you got some fans out there that says you just can't catch a break, brother.
That's what it seems like sometimes around here, man. You know how it is, though. It's like you say, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. I've been the bug for quite a bit.
Oh, well, over the last several nights, you know, not only here, but Saturday night and Sunday night.
Yeah.
You just can't catch a break, brother. I mean, you've been running pretty good, and so far it's been a pretty decent race. You know, the only other cautions we had was stage in. But what do you got to do to finish this out strong, brother?
Just get lucky and avoid it at the end. I don't know. Just get lucky and pick the right lane at the right time. That's all it is. You know, I was in a good spot there and then got hit from below. You know, you never know where it's going to come from.
Exactly.
Take it with it how they come. Next thing you know, I'll be winning.
That's all you can do. Well, Rick, appreciate you taking the time. We'll get you back down to your team, buddy. Good luck.
All right. Hi, everybody.
All right. All right. So we heard from Rick Sanchez there. I wanted to get our green flag sponsor, Bubba Winningham. We'll try to get him. They are trying to make their way back up towards the group. Let me look at our front here. With Daytona, I'm not exactly sure. I think we're coming out of Yep, we are coming out of turn 4. Going to get ready to go back green, so we'll wait and see. We'll get on our start cam as the pace truck goes down to the safety of pit road. Green flag, Chevy Lane, green flag back out once again, folks. Here we go. Back racing once again. Dave Hunt, your leader right now. Lynn McNeese on the outside. A couple guys we haven't really talked a whole lot about. Out front, Richard Kuhn. Out front with them, Andy Brigante, Adam Kilday, Brian Lang on that inside. All right, iRacing, don't start this. We do not need it to start glitching out and trying to close on me. As the 84 of Lynn McNeese right in front of Dustin Logston, Sean McCara, Adam Strong, and Jimmy Reynolds on that second lane. Outside, though, you got Nate Warren. Looks like the old 27 of Steve Corsick. Out on that outside line, going 3 wide up here for the front. Getting a little concerned about the glitchiness that I'm having here. Not sure why it's doing that. It's been pretty smooth most of the night. Dave Hunt is your leader right now, getting pushed. But Lynn McNeese also. Now we got 3 trucks on that outside line. The 42 of Peter DeBorgia getting out that outside line, but he cannot close that gap. Those front 2 trucks. Of course, right on the bumper of that 16 and Nate Warren. Kind of letting off of him a little bit. Do not want to get off center push of these trucks. They will turn. And here we go. Sean McCarr getting turned around. We were right there when that happened. Let's take a look here, folks, as the caution comes out. And we are, let's get on. Let's see, I believe. Trying to see where that was at. That was Nate Warren, I think, got him. We'll see if my roof cam works on that one. It does not. So we will get on a chase here. As we are on Nate Warren. Right there. It looked like Sean may have come up just a little bit. When Nate was coming down, Sean was coming up. They kind of met in the middle. And that just collected a whole bunch of drivers at this point. As we see the 42, that is the 14, the 48, the 71, the 83, the 82, Mark Mann, 04, Bubba Winningham, all dropping down, trying to avoid. Well, then the 5, Sanchez, locking it up, and he is going to self-spin to avoid, to keep from getting damaged. Kenny Real involved. The 36 of Stephen Luttrell involved. Well, here comes Everett Lane trying to get a Josh Ball, Zach Workman, all trying to get that shut down. So several trucks involved there. But we're going to try to get on Mr. Bubba Winningham real quick. We're going to visit with Bubba. Hey, Bubba, Steve up in the booth. Got a copy there, buddy.
Hello, Steve. What's going on in the booth tonight?
Oh, man, you know, we were seeing some good racing. Now all of a sudden everybody's wanting to wreck. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's just just 1 or 2 little mishaps out there, but overall it's been a good race. I had a bad pit stop earlier and slid through my deal and lost the pack and went a lap down. I'm going to get my wave around on this one.
Well, you know, you guys
get out there and compete.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you got to do. Just take that chance. But of course, we brought you up here, Bubba, because you know Chevyland.com, our green flag sponsor that we have here at Maxspeed TV. You know, of course, Shreveport, Louisiana. Pretty sure you could do everything online now, can't you?
You can do everything online or by telephone, text message, email. I just sent 2 cars just north of Knoxville, 2 trucks north of Knoxville, Tennessee. So we deliver everywhere, and anybody who wants to do business easy with somebody that you know, and you know, you can just pick up the phone, give me a text message me through Facebook, whatever. We'll take care of business. Big old inventory.
Yeah.
We're not afraid to discount those cars and send them out there.
Yeah, I actually went and looked on there the other day. You guys got a pretty good inventory. So, of course, Chevyland, like I said, Chevyland.com, our green flag sponsor here on Maxspeed TV. Bubba, appreciate everything you and Chevyland does for not just OP, but Maxspeed TV and all of the leagues that you guys take care of. So, well, good luck, Bubba. We're going to let you go and look forward to talking to you here soon.
Thank you, brother.
Get him back down to his room. Well, that's going to get us back out on the track. Lynn McNeese going to be your leader. Dustin Longston in second. Dave Hunt third. Richard Kuhn fourth. Andy Brigante rounding out your top five. Kilday, Dude Conrad, Jimmy Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Jeff Crosby Sr. Rounding out your top 10. Then we got Sanchez, Schroeder, Wang, Johnson, Harrington, Luttrell, Schramm, Hunter Reynolds, Zach Workman, Kenny Real, Nate Warren. Top 21. Mark Mann down on pit road or coming up a pit road, as well as Les Levy. Steve Korosik coming down pit road right now. So is Everett Lane. Peter DeBorgia back here in a 26th spot. Vicente Guerrero, Josh Ball, Bubba Whittingham, Eric Laurie, and Sean McCara. It looks like Eric Laurie is the first truck lap down. Yeah, he is the first truck to lap down. And then Sean McCarr, I believe, is 1 or 2 laps down. McCarr is 2 laps down right now. They are some good, friendly people down there, Belva. And Bubba Whittingham is probably one of the nicest guys you will ever talk to. You know, will do just about anything. If you need help, he will do what he can to help out. I promise you that. Well, here we go. Pace truck going back down to pit road as they enter the Geico restart zone. The Chevyland green flag up in the air and waving. Here we go. Back green flag racing once again. Lee McNeese getting a good jump out there. Got Dave Hunt right behind him, but the two Nerditudes guys on the Nerd Esports team on that outside line with the 85 of Kilday. Now, we were hoping to have Josh Medlock come in the booth tonight, but he said he wasn't feeling real well. After Saturday night, he was back in the broadcast booth. Kind of wore him out, so he is taking it easy, and I don't blame him. You know, he's got to think about his health, slowly get back into broadcasting, and we wish him well, wish him the best. Glad to have him, though, back in the booth. It's Hunter Reynolds going to the outside with the 19 of Zach Workman. That's going to leave Adam Kilday in the middle, but out front, though, Richard Kuhn. Out there, Loxton. Another 30 sports team driver. The 84 of McNeese, Dave Hunt. Duke Conrad on that inside line. Hunter Reynolds, Kilday, Brigante, Workman, Schroeder, Luttrell. Schroeder getting a little bit wiggly there. That's Kitty Real and Peter DeBorgia trying to make their way out on that third lane. Trying to make something work out there. Right now, Richard Kuhn battling out with Hunter Reynolds. Back and forth, Schroeder jumps out to the outside. Out in front of Kenny Real, trying to get pushed out to the front. They are trying to make the run on that outside line. 3 trucks out there. That is Schroeder, Real, and DeBorgia. Ooh, looked like Schroeder may have tapped the wall a little bit. Now the 87, Adam Schramm, joining them out on that outside line. As well as, that looks like, that 027 going out there as that is Steve Coruscant. Stephen Luttrell out on that outside line as well. And then the 71, Sean McCarra. Guys, we are 3 wide, 5 rows deep right now. Andrew Schroeder trying to make that truck 2 lanes wide, but that's going to give enough space for Kenny Real, Peter DeBorgia to go to that outside line. That's going to put Schroeder, Kilday, Brigante, Workman, Warren on that middle line. Then you got Reynolds, Kuhn, Loxton, McNeese, Hunt, Conrad, Mann, and then 16. Ooh, big wiggle there. Mark Mann, that is the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. Back up the front, Andrew Schroeder out front, in front of Hunter. We are lap 71 of 100, folks. Yeah, we got several throwbacks out there. Kenny Real making that run on that outside line with the 42 of Peter DeBorgia, and the run that the 85 just got on that middle lane. Holy cow. Adam with a great run on that middle line. He is getting pushed by the 13 of Andy Brigante. We got a truck coming off of pit road. I believe that is. Johnson is out of the race. Oh no. That was Vicente Guerrero coming off of pit road. We have one driver out of the race now, folks. That is the 83 of Doug Johnson. Took this truck behind the wall. Here we go. Kilday, Brigante on the outside. Schroeder, Reynolds on the inside line, but Kenny Real, Peter DeBorgia, as Brigante goes to that third lane. Real's going to give Brigante a shove. And Schroeder's going to get another lap led. That's the Western Colorado, that's the McNeese. Let's see, the 15. That is Jeff Crosby Sr. And let's see. That could be the 25, the Earnhardt, silver Budweiser truck. Ooh. Doran going on up front. Kenny Real out front up with 13 of Brigante and Schroeder on the inside. Kilday, Workman, and that is Sean McCarra, who is a lap down on the outside with Nate Warren and Peter DeBorgia. Talking about the should be the 05. That is Ryan Wang as Peter DeBorgia goes out making it 3 trucks on the outside with Wang and Morrison. There goes the 71, Sean McCarra. He's trying to get his lap back the hard way. Going to make it 4 trucks deep on that third lane, but Adam Kilday, your leader right now, is Sean McCarra getting pushed by the 42. Kenny Real right there behind Kilday, Trying to get him pushed down on that lower line. We'll see what happens, folks. We are 26 laps to go. Again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Of course, we only got 6 likes out there. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button for me. If not for me, do it for the drivers out here on the track, because they are putting on one heck of a show. Andrew Schroeder drops back to 8. Sean McCara getting left on that 3rd lane by himself. I would venture to say, let me pull this up. Get our pitch strategy on here. We should start seeing some green flag pit stops here. Working dives down in front of Kilday. We come back through the front stretch into the tri-oval. Everybody's going to stay out for right now. I'm going to try to stretch this out as long as I can. They've been out here 12 laps, going on 13 laps. Looks like 14 laps have been the most that these guys have stayed out before they pitted. We're coming up on some lap traffic. That is the 24 of Everett Lane and the 6 of Bubba Winningham. We're going to keep an eye on this as the leaders are catching up fairly quickly. They've been out here 12 laps as those 2 trucks go to the high side. It's going to allow the leaders to stay in the 1st and 2nd lanes. As we come through the tri-oval. Still not seeing anybody coming down pit road. Zach Workman taking over the lead as we come down the back stretch here, folks. We come to 3 and 4. These guys are going to make the run around. There we go. We got somebody coming down. That is Peter DeBorgia coming down pit road, but he is by himself. That's not going to work out very well as he's going to lose the draft. They're going to take this pit stop as long, or these green flag run as long as they can go. Right now, Nate Warren and Zach Workman battling out for the lead as we come around Vicente Guerrero. Vicente going to go a lap down. Here we go. Adam Kilday leading this group. You got Kilday, Real, Schroeder, Kuhn, McNeese, Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Josh Ball, Les Levy, Duke Conrad, Dan Harrington, all down pit road. Eric Laurie down pit road as well. Nate Warren going to take over the lead as we get back down the back stretch here. I'm venture to say that these guys are probably going to go into the pits this time around. Here they go, Warren, Wang, Workman, Corsac, Brigante, Schrum, Luttrell, Logston, Mann, Sanchez, Hunt. Oh, and we're wrecking coming onto pit road at 36 and the old 27 going around. Let's take a rewind here real quick, folks. We're going to get on Stephen Luttrell. We'll see what happens here as they are coming down pit road. Looks like Mark Mann got into the back of the 36. Ooh, hard to that inside retaining wall. Spins around. Everett Lane getting locked up. Unfortunately, that brings out the caution. I think. Why am I not live? No, we are still green, folks. 20 to go. Because I still had it on 4 speed. Nate Warren, Zach Workman, Ryan Wayne, your top 3 by themselves. We got Adam Kilday, this other big group, Kenny Real, Jimmy Reynolds, Lynn McNeese, Andrew Schroeder, Richard Coon. Andrew thought about coming down, but Richard was right there. There's Gabe Butler, Duke Conrad, Hunter Reynolds, Josh Ball, Adam Schramm, Peter DeBorgia, Dustin Loxton. And we go back here to Dan Harrington, Andy Brigante, Mark Mann, Les Levy, Dave Hunt, back here with the 24 of Everett Lane. $19 laps to go. Nate Warren, your leader. That group 3 is getting chased down by Adam Kilday, Kenny Real, Jimmy Reynolds, and Lynn McNeese. Now, Kilday got caught up with, well, should be 0-5 of Brian Wang. Rick Sanchez going to go a lap down. Ooh. Back here with Lynn. 3 wide. Lynn trying to find a hole. Nowhere for Lynn to go, so he's going to stay behind Richard Coon there. And they're going to fall back. We got 3 wide situation. That's Josh Ball. That is Peter DeBorgia, and that's the 87 Adam Schramm out on that 3rd lane. Hunter, Warren, Workman, Wayne, Kilday, and Real, your top 5. Here comes that 2nd lane. Richard Coon trying to make that 2nd lane, get that little tighter group of trucks. They're going to get a run there, get up towards the front with the 84 of Lynn McNeese, Dustin Logston, Peter DeBorgia, right there on that 2nd lane. Right now, our biggest mover, though, is the 26 of Lynn McNeese, up 26 spots. Make that 27 spots down. Richard Coon drops it down in front of the 16 of Nate Warren. Dustin Loxton right on the bumper of that 84 of Lynn McNeese. Going to try to get him pushed out to the front. Which one is the Davey Allison one? I didn't see that one, Everett. If you can see, if you can remember which truck that was. Well, these guys kind of calmed it down. Back to side-by-side racing, though. Lynn McNeese on the outside with Logston, DeBorgia, Rom, Ball. Then you got Coon. That is Warren, Workman, Wang, Kilday, Real, 88. Do I have an 88? That's going to be Gabe Butler. Let's take a look at Gabe's truck. No, Gabe is a Guinness. Unless the paint scheme is a throwback. Back out to the front, though. Richard Coon getting pushed out there by the 16 of Nate Warren, but here comes that 2nd lane again with a pretty decent run. McNeese, Logston, and DeBorgia. Ooh, uh-oh, we got one. Oh, Lynn McNeese around, Logston around, Peter DeBorgia getting caught up. That's going to bring out a caution here, folks. Let's take a look here. We are on board with Jimmy Reynolds, but that happened up here. Where is Mr. McNeese? As McLean is sideways. We're going to take a rewind here. We're going to see. I'll get on my chase view. We're going to see. I think he might have got hooked there. Just ever so slightly on that right rear bumper. That got Lynn around. The air catches him. And he is topsy-turvy around. It looks like he's out there breakdancing. But, man, we got several trucks involved. The 71, the 42, the 62, the one of Josh Ball, Kenny Reel, dropping it down to the apron, and then the 25 and the 19, Kill Day down in the grass. The 81, Dustin Locks, of course, involved in that as well. Rick Sanchez trying to stay up high to avoid it close to that wall, and he locks it down. Oh, right into the side of the 62. Gabe Butler might have squeaked by there as Jimmy Reynolds gets it shut down and then gets tapped by the 48. Yep. Good night, Most Pie. Glad you joined us. As always, love having you here. Again, like Mr. Jimmy Reynolds says, without you, there'd be no us. And without our fans, there'd be no Maxspeed TV. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I know the drivers here on OP Monday Night Premier Series, you know, appreciates everybody watching and cheering them on. Of course, big shout out to Jimmy Reynolds for reaching out to me for broadcasting Monday night. And of course, to Nerditudes, in partnership with Nerditudes, to bring you the new overlay system that we're using now. The SDK looks amazing. Love what I'm seeing, and just definitely glad to have Nerditudes on board. We're going to go ahead. Need to get this up here as well. You're going to see a little bit of live editing and fixing here. We'll get that put up there. Our Maxspeed TV logo. Gotta have that going on. Gotta give a shout out to Jeremy Medlock. Netsby out there. Sanchez, you gave up that high line. Working. Well, folks, we are winding it down. We will be, I believe, at 9 to go, or 10 to go when we get back green, as we are back side by side. Looks like we only have one truck still out of the race. That is the 83 of Doug Johnson. Doug took his truck behind the wall several laps ago. Bubba Whittingham back on the lead lap. Sanchez a lap down. Vicente Guerrero a lap down. Sean McCarr, I think, is 2 laps down. as they reached round or turn number 3, and all of a sudden I got the hiccups. Oh, excuse me, guys. Whew. Well, I hate when I get the hiccups all of a sudden for no reason. That makes it kind of hard to broadcast sometimes. Well, here we go. Pace truck will dive off down to pit road. Oh, like I said, we should be at 10 to go when we cross the line here. Chevyland green flag in the air. Here we go. Green flag back out, folks. Back on the loud pedal once again. Warren in your leader. Second, Workman third. Borgia fourth. Coon rounding out your top 5. Again, we are 10 laps to go, and we are counting them down. So they come out of turn 2 to the back stretch here, folks. These trucks getting wound up. Coming into turn number 3. That might have helped, William. I don't know, buddy. I don't have them now. We come out of turn number 4. We'll get back to our start-finish line here, folks. 9 to go at the line as we're seeing trucks back and forth. Ricky Coon looking to the outside of the 19 of Workman. Decides not to go out there, stays behind him. But you got Warren Kilday to Borgia. Kilday goes up high in front of the 19. You got Kilday, Workman, Coon, Wang. I believe that is the 88 of Butler. Workman looking to go on the end, go down with Adam, but no room. Adam's going to drop it down in front of the 16 of Warren. We come back to the line. We will be 8 to go here, folks. Richard looking to go to the outside, seeing if anybody's going to go with him, but not going to have any help to go out there with him. He is got to be careful. He decided to back off the 19. Looks like he got a little bit loose. Maybe trying to get some air into that truck to keep it cooled down. Do not want that engine blowing at this late of the stage of the game. We'll get our battle for position back up here as we can see what's going on. We're going 3 wide. That's Josh Ball to the outside with the 027 Steve Corsick, 36 of Rail, and the 11 of Kenny Reel. Josh Ball getting a great run on that outside with the 027 of Corsick. Josh down in front of the 85 was not clear. Going to stack them up. Folks, that we caught that right there. We're going to keep an eye on this. We're going to pause this real quick, but that was on. We're going to go to Adam Kilday. We're going to go to a roof cam here. As you can see, Josh Ball. You'll see Josh Ball coming to your screen here in just a second. Say that. Josh Ball come down across the nose. And for some reason, it's not, my replay is not wanting to work. So we're going to go do this. And then we're going to get up to the front here. So we're going to see Josh Ball on that outside line come down and was not quite clear right across the nose of the 85. Somehow Adam was able to hang on to it. And be in a pretty good position. But right now, Steve Korsick is going to be your leader. Adam Kilday second. Stephen Luttrell up to third. Kenny Real in fourth. Zach Workman rounding out your top five. Then we got Kuhn, Wang, Butler, Ball, and DeBorgia, your top 10. Brigante, Schramm, Hunt, Harrington, Les Levy, McNeese, Logston, Winningham, Everett, Lane, Jimmy Reynolds, Crosby Sr., Schroeder, Vicente Guerrero, Mark Mann, Hunter Reynolds down on pit road. Eric Laurie coming off of pit road. And Nate Warren down on pit road. A lot of damage on Nate's truck. Rick Sanchez, I believe he may be back on the lead lap. Sean McCarr still a couple laps down. Sanchez a lap down. Dude Conrad down on pit road as well. As we get coming down the back stretch here, folks. Pace truck will dive off down to pit road. We have 4 laps to go. Yeah, it looked like he just wasn't clear and just came across the nose of another truck. So, but that's just from my point of view, folks. Of course, they will have a race review after the race and assess any penalties or anything at that point. So, just from what I'm seeing, it looks like Josh Ball come down, wasn't quite clear, came across the nose of the 85 of Adam Kilday. Well, 4 laps to go, folks. It's going to be a 4-lap shootout. I believe they had 2 GWC attempts, but this is regulation, so we come out of turn number 4. As you can see, Flagman is getting the green flag in his hand. Pace truck will dive off down to pit road once again. As we get to the Geico restart zone, Chevy Land green flag back out on the loud pedal. Here we go. 3 to go. This will be a regulation GWC. Adam Kilday back out to the front. Steve Orsick down on that bottom line with Stephen Luttrell, Zach Workman on that inside line. Adam Kilday, Kenny Reel. That is Richard Kuhn, and I believe that is Brian Wang. No, Brian Wang's down on the inside. We're back 3 wide here, folks. Richard Kuhn on the outside with the 88 of Gabe Butler. Gabe Butler says, nope, I'm going to leave you out there. We're going to stay on this center line, on this second lane. That's going to hurt the 47. No help out there. And we're getting loose and spinning. That's teammates getting into each other. That's going to bring out our caution. That's going to end regulation. So this will be our GWC attempt number 1 coming up. Let's take a look here as we are on board with the 84 of Lynn McNeese. So let's go back here. We're going to go back to the far chase. And that's going to be up here. Where is Dustin Logston? Again, this is teammates, folks. Look like some net code. You see the 81 going into the truck, into the 47. Dustin's coming up high as the 47's coming. Ooh, net code started it. We've seen that gap right there. Let's get a little bit closer view. We see the net code starts it. Gets the 47 around. The 81 tries to straighten him out. Well, the 82 comes in and finishes him off. And that gets Logston up in the air. And of course, the 87. Ooh, the 24 of Everett Lane. Nowhere for Everett to go. And the 84 of Lynn McNeese getting a piece of it as well. Jimmy Reynolds diving down to the inside. Oh, 81 off the wall down into the number 5 of Sanchez. Unfortunately, that looks like that might end several drivers' nights there, depending on if they have any fast repairs or not. Right now, the 027 is your leader. Stephen Luttrell up 23 spots into second. Adam Kilday third. Zach Workman fourth. Kenny Reel rounding out your top 5. Then you got Brian Wang, Peter DeBorgia, Gabe Butler, Andy Brigante, and Josh Ball rounding out your top 10. Well, this is BGWC tip number 1 here, folks. Again, I'd like to give a big shout out to our admins here at OP for everything they do. Guys, this is not easy to keep a league running and going. All the stuff that they have to put up with and all the things that they got to do, taking care of the points. You know, big shout out to Zach Fritch and Anthony English. Them guys take care of the points towers that you see at the beginning of the race. Of course, to our sponsor, Buttkicker, for everything that they do. Of course, the winner, the season champion, will receive a Buttkicker haptic system for their simulator. Of course, got to give a shout out to all the drivers out here. A 31 truck count tonight. Pretty decent field. And I'm looking to see if looks like Duke Conrad is still down on pit road. He'd come down pit road. Looks like he is the Doug Johnson's still the only truck that we have lost tonight. Took him behind the wall early. GWC attempt number 1 coming up. As we come out of, looks like turn number 1 and 2, going to come down the back stretch here. Getting ready for GWC attempt number 1 here, folks. Latrell, Corsick, Kilday, Workman, and Wang, your top 5. I'm looking at Sanchez is still a lap down. McCarr is a lap down. Look like Conrad was 2 laps down. We are in turns 3 and 4. Getting everybody lined up here. See the trucks coming out of turn 4. The pace truck will dive off down to pit road. The flagman's got the Chevy Land green flag in his hand. There goes the pace truck down to pit road. Going to hit that Geico restart zone. Chevy Land green flag. Back out. Here we go, folks. GWC attempt number 1 on the loud pedal. Let's see what happens. Got to make it around a couple of times to get the white flag. But whatever happens after that's going to happen. Of course, we are under iRacing cautions, I believe. Battling out between Corsick and Latrell. Latrell's got a good pusher with Adam Kilday behind him as we got trucks wrecking behind them. Looks like Mark Mann involved. Sanchez involved. Winningham involved. Oh, the 84 gets turned around. Everett Lane, Lynn McNeese, Mark Mann, Vicente Carrero. Let's take a look here, folks, to see what happened. Looked like it started right up front there. Yep, that happened up towards the front here. Try to get up here to see. That looked like the 88 of Gabe Butler and the 42 of Peter DeBorgia. So it looked like a checkup here. Peter went up, right up into Gabe. Looks like he tried to straighten him out. But then it just got everybody. Gabe couldn't quite hang on to it. Ooh, Jimmy Reynolds got a piece of that. And that's where Mark Mann, Everett Lane, Bubba Winningham getting some of it as well. He's trying to get it shut down. 47 of Richard Kuhn come flying in there. Couldn't get it shut down into the side of Mark Mann. Rick Sanchez right there as well. Well, guys, this will be our second GWC. Rick is out there in chat. Man. Well, that did looks like it put Everett Lane, unfortunately, Rick Sanchez out of the race. I hate it, Rick. I hope the broadcaster's jinx didn't get you, buddy. We know how that works. You know, we try to get you guys up here. That's why I don't like pulling you guys up mid-race. That's just me. With Steve Korosek, your leader. Stephen Luttrell in second. Zach Workman third. Adam Kilday fourth. Brian Wayne rounding at your top five. We come back by the start-finish line. Lights on the pace truck should go out. We will be one to go. Well, I'll try not to. I can't guarantee you anything. The broadcaster's jinx, I think, only works if you bring them up into the booth. They come down the back stretch, folks. We will be getting ready for our GWC attempt number 2. And again, I believe they only get 2 GWC attempts on Monday nights. Right now, though, it's Korosek, Luttrell, Workman, Kilday, Wang, Ball, Real, DeBorgia, Brigante, and Hunt. Rounding out your top 10, Schramm, Levy, Crosby Sr., Reynolds, Schroeder, Logston, Butler, Winningham, Laurie, and Mann. You're rounding out your 20 car field. And then 21 is Reynolds, Harrington, McNeese, Guerrero, Kuhn, Warren. I think the car is still out here running. Dude Conrad back out. Everett Lane, unfortunately, done for the night. And Nate Warren right there in 26th. Well, here we go. Pace truck down into pit road. Green flag. Chevy Lane green flag. Back out, folks. Here we go. GWC attempt number 2 underway here at Daytona. Series presented by Buttkicker. Korosek's got the 19 right behind him. Of course, 36 behind or in front of the 85 of Kilday. Trying to get the green trucks hooked up here. Here comes Peter DeBorgia as well. A lot of side-by-side and wiggling going on here, folks, as they come down the back stretch. 85 right on the bumper of the 36, coming through turns 1 and 2 here, or 3 and 4. Come through the tri-oval. Gonna be a battle here, folks. So far, so good. We get to the line here. White flag will be out. White flag, last lap. Here we go, folks. Gonna be a drag race to the end. We're side by side, 3 wide back there behind them. But we're looking at this front group here as they are wrecking behind them. That's the 42 of DeBorgia, the 88 of Butler, and the 53 of Hunt involved. There goes the 36 down to the bottom in front of the 27. 27, ooh, right on his bumper. Going to try to push him out to the win. We'll see what happens as they come around turns 3 and 4. Coming to the tri-oval. The 36 out front, Stephen Luttrell may get his first win of the season here, folks. Coming to the line, he does. Luttrell, Kilday, Korosek, your top 3. What a finish. We're going to go back here. And we're going to get on our finish here. And let's get on our chase view. And we're going to get on Steven Luttrell. I know he's probably hooping and hollering in that team channel. No press to esports. At 27, I mean, just pushing the far out of the 36 to the win. We got the 36, the 85, and the 27. Hang tight, folks. We're going to step aside. We'll get our top 3 up here for our post-race interview. We will be right back. All right, folks, we are back. We've got caught up with our top 3. We're going to go ahead and bring down our third place finisher tonight, Mr. Steve Corsick in the 027. Steve, man, you were pushing the far out of Luttrell, but, man, you had a pretty good run tonight. You jumped up 20 spots, came in third. It was a tough battle right there at the end, a couple GWCs. Our second GWC attempt, you guys finished it out strong. Man, how was your race tonight? What did you feel out there?
Oh, man, this is honestly probably the toughest race I've had in a long time. I had connection issues getting in. I wasn't able to connect my wheels, so I missed the start of the race. And I went a lap down, and then I went to go make green flag pit stops, and I got a penalty exiting, so I had to do a drive-through, and I was stuck a lap down there for a while. I think I got it back around lap 50, and then I made another mistake and had some bad luck, and I was almost a lap down again. They were about 3 seconds from lapping me, and the caution came out, and that saved my race, and I was just able to get back to the front there right at the end. The third lane was open a lot, and a lot of people weren't using it, but every time I would go up there, Josh Ball would jump up, so I'd just give him a smack, and to just us two half the time, be able to just go to the front in the third, and that's how I was able to make up track position all night, because I was in the back the whole time.
Well, you know, everybody always says it's just, you know, these super speedways are, it's a game of luck, but, you know, luck does play a part in it. You know, track position plays a big part. You were just at the right spots at the right time. But you worked your way back, like you said, you worked your way back up to the front after having those issues. Overall, though, I mean, it was a really good race up until, you know, the last several laps where we had a few more cautions. But, you know, other than that, we had the 2 stage breaks. You were still right there amongst all of that. But overall, how did the truck feel? How did the track feel? You know, with the updates, I don't know. I haven't got to run these trucks since the updates. So how did everything feel since they updated everything?
This was my first race with the update. I'm only once a week right now. So this was new to me too. I thought it felt good. It seems like you really gotta work the side draft to get some momentum going, and you gotta have help with you. You just can't really do it alone. It's all about momentum in these.
Well, you know, awesome job, buddy. Good points night for you tonight. Good points night for the Dell Cup team. The 027 Snap-on truck looked pretty good tonight. I'm going to turn the mic over to you, brother. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate?
Yeah, just thank you for the broadcast, Soapy, for putting on the league, and good win, Steve. And thank you, my teammate Brian, and Zach Workman, and Josh Ball. It's fun working out there with you guys.
All right, buddy. Well, go celebrate, and we will see you next week, sir.
Thanks.
We'll go ahead and put him down in the post-race campfire, and then we will get to our second-place finisher tonight. Let me get him into the booth and get my graphics put up here. And then we'll get on to Mr. Adam Kilday. Adam, man, tough battle out there tonight, man. You guys started out real strong with the race. You know, the only two cautions we had was the stages, and then kind of went downhill. Guys getting a little more aggressive coming to the end of the race, which is to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, it was a handful at the end for sure. There was an unfortunate netcode deal that happened that kind of maybe ruined some of the legitimacy, I guess is what you want to say, for a decent finish that could have happened on that one restart, but that's just iRacing's deal doing what it does. But yeah, you know, it's friggin' the second Daytona race of the season.
Yep.
New Daytona. I think it's my second freaking running up position here, which sucks. You know, we're coming one position short of winning here, so. But you know, maybe we'll get one later on in the season, so we'll see.
Well, you know, consistency wins championships, points wins championships. With you being right there in, the top 5 or top 3, it's going to keep your points up. So great points not for you tonight. But, like I said, I told Mr. Korsick that, I haven't got to run these trucks since the updates, if anything was updated on them. How did the trucks feel to you out there, especially in the draft, the bump draft? Of course, these trucks always drafted and bump drafted really well, but with any changes or any updates to them that made them any different?
I want to say they've been about the same for the past going on 3 OP seasons now. Probably one thing that changed just over a year ago was the engine power, I guess. Like the engine change iRacing did to these cars, to where now they carry a bit more speed, or they run at higher RPMs or whatever it is, so they get hotter a lot quicker type of deal. So it's more so like a temperature game with the trucks now than what they used to be before.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that too, because you guys was changing lanes quite a bit. Was that just to help the people behind you out to get cooled off, or was that strategy to slow the lines down, or can you indulge in that a little bit?
Yeah, I want to say probably more so to keep the cycling, to keep maybe the third lane from clearing like the middle, and then preventing herself from getting buried further back in the field type of deal. Because I guess with everyone hot on the lower 2 lines, sitting dead even on temperatures, that allows like the top lane up against the wall to get together and surge ahead and just fly past the 2 middle lanes. So I guess that's more so what the key is for really these the way these trucks drive now too, is managing that type of deal. But I think that paid off somewhat for the first stage. We managed to pull off a second position for the first stage. Didn't get any in the second stage, but yeah, it kind of worked out that way. So yeah.
Well, again, Adam, good points not for you tonight personally in the point standings, but also for your team. You guys did a great job tonight. It was some green flag pit stops, which is always exciting. Kind of spreads the field out. But, well, buddy, we're going to turn the mic over to you, Adam. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate your P2 tonight?
Yep, we're going to shout out to the team, Vendetta. Me and Sanchez were running up close, up front early on in the race, and we got separated, unfortunately, early on, and couldn't really get linked back together. Yeah, so shout out to the teammates. Shout out the OP League, and then shout out to broadcast on YouTube, Maxspeed TV, and everyone that can't be here tonight. Shout out to those guys as well. And yeah, that should about do it.
All right. Well, Adam, go celebrate, buddy. Congratulations on your P2. We will see you probably Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday will do. Heck yeah.
All right, brother. Well, go celebrate, man. We'll catch you later.
Yeah, you take it easy.
All right, buddy. All right. Well, guys, he is probably up here chomping at the bit. He has been begging me for an interview over the last several weeks. He's like, I'd never get interviewed. Well, by golly, Stephen Luttrell, your winner tonight. Man, are really one of our biggest movers, up 24 spots up into that victory tonight. Of course, you had some help. Steve Korsak was pushing the living bar out of you right there at the win, at the end there. Of course, we've got people out in chat right now. I mean, just going insane. Kaylin out there says, go Papa. So, awesome job, Steve, man. Congratulations, buddy. Let's talk about your race, man. How
thank you.
I think you started a lap down. I don't know if you started in the pits, but, man, you had a great run. You battled your way back up to the front. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I almost didn't start the race. I was trying to get in the session for 45 minutes. I couldn't get anything to work. I was just getting a black screen. I worked on it, and I finally got in and got it to work, but I had to reset all my settings. And
oh no.
I got in as qualifying had like 10 seconds left. So while everybody was gridding up, I was setting all my settings and I had to start from the pits.
That, you wasn't the only one. I think Steve Korsak said he had issues getting into the session as well. So it may have been, of course, iRacing does its own deal, so you just never know. But, man, still, these trucks are, sometimes they can be a handful, but, they're really fun to drive. They're fun to race. They draft real well. But was you having any issues with overheating? Did you overheat any? Was you able to manage that pretty good?
I didn't have any problems with temperature, but then again, I never really got up on somebody's bumper, until closer to the end. I was just trying to keep my nose clean. But when it was like, I don't know, 80 laps, or at 80 laps, we had 15, 20 laps to go. Kenny told me, let's go to the top. So I moved on up to the top, and we went all the way up to the front, got up to fourth or something, and that yellow came out, and then I could start breathing. But the trucks feel fine. I like it. I'll tell you what, I really like the trucks now.
Well, that's a good points night for you. You got your win, so you're automatically into the playoffs. You are our fifth new winner of the season. We've had a different winner every race. You are the fifth winner, so congratulations. So that automatically puts you into the round of 16. So that's got to be a little bit of load off your shoulders.
Big time. Oh yeah, that makes me feel a lot better. We were coming to the restart, and I told my team, I said, I'm going for points here. So if somebody wants to push me, but I'm just going for a top 5 here to get some good points, and here we are.
Well, awesome job, Steve. I know you got quite a few people to give thanks to. So, buddy, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate your victory tonight?
Well, first I got to thank my wife for letting me spend all this money on all this sim rig stuff and letting me do this all the time. And my mom, dad for raising me right on good music and around racing. And my kids and my grandson Mason. I'm sure he's out there watching. Hey, Mason.
All right, well, buddy, go celebrate again. Good points tonight, and for you and for your team. No Presta Esports, awesome job. And Kalen says yes, he is watching. So, so
Yeah.
awesome job, Steve, and congratulations, buddy. Glad you finally got that victory under your belt. And man, you just got to keep that momentum going, buddy.
Yep. I couldn't have done it without my teammates. They were really making the calls there at the end to get me up front and keep me up there. So yeah, Kenny, Vicente, Adam, and the Josh, all of them. Just I can't think right now. So thank my teammates. They really helped me out up there.
All right, buddy. Well, go celebrate. We're gonna get you down there to the post race campfire, and man, just go celebrate. We will catch you next week.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to bring us to our unofficial results. Of course, that's going to depend on any admin stuff that they have to do. We're going to get this off of here. We'll get our results up here real quick. Again, this is our unofficial results. Stephen Luttrell, your winner tonight. So awesome job by Stephen. Adam Kilday in second. Steve Korsak in third. Josh Ball finishing fourth. Zach Workman fifth. Brian Wayne in sixth. Kenny Real seventh. Andy Brigante in 8th, Les Levy 9th, Hunter Reynolds rounding at your top 10. Jeff Crosby Sr. in 11th, Andrew Schroeder 12th, Dustin Logston in 13th, Mark Mann 14th, Adam Schramm 15th, Bubba Winningham in 16th, Eric Laurie 17th, Dan Harrington in 18th. Finishing in the 19th was Jimmy Reynolds, 20th, Vicente Guerrero 21st, Lynn McNeese. 22nd, Richard Kuhn. 23rd, Dave Hunt. 24th, Gabe Butler. 25th, Nate Warren. 26th, Peter DeBorgia. 27th, Sean McCarr. 28th, Dude Conrad. Finishing 29th, Everett Lane. In 30th, Rick Sanchez. And finishing out the 31 truck field was Doug Johnson. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Maxspeed TV. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Guys, don't forget... we will have Saturday night OP Buttkicker Unlimited Series right here on Maxspeed TV. Plus, Josh Medlock will be broadcasting his league, the Josh White. Trying to think what the name of it was, but the Josh White race on Saturday night. So we'll have a dual broadcast. Hey, awesome guys. We got some. I've got some stuff going to be coming up. Going to try to work on it this week. So stay tuned. Probably going to be broadcasting on YouTube and on Facebook. So stay tuned for that. We may even have a new system up to where the drivers will be able to have cameras on them. It's called a Video Ninja. Been looking into that as well. So hang tight for that. Be on the lookout. But we will post everything whenever we get it going. So, but for now, that's going to do it for us tonight here on Maxspeed TV. From myself, Stephen Lane, Maxspeed TV, all the drivers here at OP, we thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate all of our fans out there. Of course, Kalen Thomas, William Luttrell, Everett Grover, Rick Sanchez tuning in, NetSpeed, Moose Pie, Belva, kind of going through my nephew Dylan Lane. Well, that did it. My iRacing shut down. But Belva out there. I'm looking through here real quick. Everett Baker tuning in. But appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, folks. Please have a good night. Be safe. And we will see you Saturday night right here on Maxspeed TV.